So, a couple months ago, my best friend Jake decided to get into birdwatching. You know, one of those hobbies that sounds peaceful, like knitting or collecting stamps, but somehow always ends with someone falling into a pond. Anyway, Jake bought a fancy pair of binoculars, a khaki vest with way too many pockets, and started waking up at 5 a.m. to sit in the park and whisper things like, "Look, a yellow-bellied sapsucker," to anyone within earshot, which was mostly just me, mildly hungover and clutching my coffee like it owed me money. At first, I thought it was cute. He'd text me pictures of robins and warblers, and occasionally a squirrel that looked like it was plotting tax fraud. But then Jake started acting weird. He said he felt like the birds were watching him back. At first, I laughed and told him he was just tired. But then one morning, I showed up to the park to find Jake crouched behind a bush, peering nervously over the top, whispering, "Don't make any sudden moves, they're here." I looked around and, sure enough, a whole flock of pigeons was sitting on the power lines, all facing directly at us. It was like the world's least intimidating flash mob. Things really escalated when Jake swore he saw a crow holding up what looked suspiciously like a tiny pair of binoculars, and I have to admit, it did look like he was right. The next day, more birds showed up, blue jays with notepads, a woodpecker with a camera, even a duck with what I can only describe as a suspiciously well-made fake mustache. Jake started getting paranoid, wearing sunglasses and a hoodie, muttering about avian surveillance. Meanwhile, the birds all seemed to be taking detailed notes every time Jake moved. I swear, one pigeon had a little earpiece. Finally, after a week of this, Jake snapped. He stood up in the park and shouted, "What do you want from me?" At that exact moment, a seagull dropped a tiny card at his feet. On it, in perfect handwriting, it said, "Next time, try not to peck into our business."